There is a connection with the Mysteries of Lisbon, which you also worked on, in the sense that it's a 19th century Portuguese story and the same writer, Carlos Saboga, but of course it's a completely different film and a different tone. And you've brought something to it that is, I think, a much more kind of animated and flamboyant style.
Bueno, Raoul sûrement il aurait fait une autre chose, un film de 6 heures, etc. Le scénario, c'est de Carlos Saboga. Il a le même type d'écriture. C'est pas un scénario construit à l'américaine, c'est plutôt un scénario construit comme Les Mille et Une Nuits, dans lequel il a beaucoup d'histoires.
So, yes, Raoul may have done it in a different way, and it was written by
Carlos Saboga.
Carlos Saboga, but it's not written in an American style. It's written like 1001 Nights, with these very different episodes.
Et comme le mystère de Lisbonne, c'est aussi une série pour la télévision dans laquelle il a des épisodes en plus.
And so The Mysteries of Lisbon was also made as a television series.
Et ce film-là aussi, il aura des histoires de plus que pour la télévision.
And this also was also made for television, so there's extra stories inserted into the TV version.
And what's it like making a film like this? It's not a classic sort of historical film. It's a film which maybe plays with some of the archetypes or stereotypes of the historical novel, but it does some very mischievous things with them.
Ça joue avec les personnages comme un roman historique, mais
oui.
On prend les archétypes et puis on joue avec.
Bon, le film, il a vraiment beaucoup de personnages, comme dans les romans, c'est vrai, mais c'est surtout l'histoire d'un peuple et la guerre regardée à travers ce peuple.
So yes, it's like it could be seen as like a novel with lots of different characters, but it's really a film about a people, and it's their story.
No, is this a sort of period of history that, I mean, do people know about this period in Portuguese history, and particularly, you know, the
yes, but not so. We could know more, but I think the film is helping in that way too. Actually, in Portugal, we also a lot of kids from schools are going to are at this moment watching this film. So it's in a way it also clears for us the importance of this history in Portugal, and it was a very tragic moment, and I think still today we still live in a way a recession of this moment, because our king went to Brazil, and it was the beginning of the loss of Brazil, so it's a very important moment in our history.
Right. And I wonder what it's like playing a character in a film like this, where your character can only appear in, you know, like one corner of this huge sort of fresco. Do you feel like, you know, you wonder about your place in it? Do you feel lost in this huge world?
No, I do not, because all the time we realized that the film was about this people traveling through Portugal, escaping war and burning the country while they go, and it was about them. It was a story about a lot of people, and there's no hero in the story in a way, and the hero is the population, and in a way it's an homage to them, I think. And for me it relates a lot with what's happening now in Portugal. In this crisis moment, and people are watching it in Portugal also with that feeling of an homage to them in a way, and to their bravery, and we realized in the pre-production of the film we discussed a lot about that. So I knew exactly what I was supposed to tell and what was my part in this history. And in a way, my character also represents a lot. This character is a countryman, and he was not. He is involved in a war that he's not a military. He became one because of the war, and in a way, wars are made of those people.
There's a question for both of you. I wonder, when I see a film like this, I think making such a film must actually be like mounting a military operation.
C'est vrai, on a tourné plein hiver.
So they shot it during the middle of the winter,
64 jours.
64 days.
C'était difficile, mais en même temps, tout le monde avait tellement l'envie de faire le film que ça s'est passé très bien.
It was very hard, but everybody wanted to make this film, so it went very well.
No, it's really a different experience to be involved in a project like that. The project born with the city of Torres Vedras that asked me to do something about the 200th anniversary of the French invasions, and that was so important for all of us. And Carlos, when he wrote it, when I read it, I discussed first with Raul and after with Valeria. It was really something, it was really a fantastic script, and that's Nuno and Valeria said, because we see the war, not battles. We see how these terrible moments do to the populations, how they survive, how this. At the same time, we had everything. We have love, we have the suffering, we had everything on these moments, and they all of them are like small heroes, and I think it happens always like that. And it's true that at the same time, it's such, in a way, the Europe was at that moment something was happening there that had consequences in all Europe. It was the failure, the first big failure of Napoleon. It was not to close all the coast to the English. It was the first time we confronted with a defeat, and after that, the campaign came and everything. But everything starts there. The future of Europe was decided in Portugal and Spain at that moment when
right.
it didn't, and it's something maybe what's going on now. Maybe what's going to Europe next years will be decided how the things are going to happen in Portugal and Spain. And I think the people are not conscious about that, like they were not conscious at that moment. The film opened already in Lisbon, in Portugal, and is really a success. And is going to be shown on television, not only in Portugal, in 3 times 55 minutes. And is going to be shown in Arte, France, Germany, all over. And is to be shown in Portuguese television. I think is one of the last movies, series that Portuguese television co-produced, because that now one of the projects of this government is to privatization of all channels in Portugal. I think until the end of the year they want to privatize privatization of all the channels, and I can tell you that I think in private channels, I think we have the most stupid channels in Europe or in the world. That's our future. Is this? It's going to die definitely. The private channels that doesn't put a penny anything that is intelligent anyway, and it's not only in Portugal, that, but in Portugal particularly, and I hope we can stop that. It's something that this stupidity, we are, all of us here are fighting for stopping this, because It's the same that in England, if BBC and Channel 4 disappear and be private in the hands of Mr. Murdoch, it will be the same, you know. And even Margaret Thatcher didn't do it, but we are a strange country. Everything can be possible. All this that you see, more what you didn't see because there are still half an hour more or 40 minutes more, cost 3.5 million euros, we say. Less than a very small French and English movie. We made it for 3.5. All of us gave us everything that we could to the film, and that's why it can be made.